my intentions for the call, intentions distractions. So this is, by the way, for you, Cypher, this is not a param debate. Or a party. It's more of just like a dev call. But you're more than welcome, of course, to join. And my intentions for the call are really just to hang out and go through the board, checking on any improvements that need to happen during that, and also just to send good wishes to Vitor and his family. I'll pass it to Lauren.
My intentions are just to hang out and sync up and listen. And I'm a little bit distracted by Twitter right now. I'm gonna forgive us. And I don't know. Anyway, pass it to Mitch.
Mitch, you're muted.
Oh yeah, her audio cut out for me, so I didn't hear. My intentions for this call is just to see what's happening in parameters since I've been gone. Distractions, none right now. And I'll pass it to Nugget.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch. So yeah, intentions also catch up. I just found a small bug, and since Pedro is here, I would like to discuss with him how we do it, because it has some back end and some front end stuff. So since we're here, we can do that. And yeah, distractions none. And I'll pass to Zepti.
Thanks, Nugget. Yeah, my intention is just to sync up, keep syncing. Keep in the loop. And I do not have any distraction. I'll pass it to Juan.
Thanks, Septi. Yeah, I also mostly want to listen and stay in the loop. And my distraction is that I noticed that we got POAP hacked, and like a lot of bots claimed a lot of the POAPs from the Graviton trading. So it's very interesting, but yeah, it's just a small distraction. I'll pass to Mosaedi.
Hi. Can you hear me? Yeah. No distraction. Just want to stay in the loop and see what's going on here. And I think I can pass it to Cypher while he's driving.
Well, I'll start with the obvious. The distraction is that I'm driving, so my eyes will primarily be on the road. Hi, everybody. I'm Cypher. My intention is to join in. I haven't done the onboarding yet. I'll do the onboarding tomorrow, but I've been following Common Stack and TUC for a while, and the best way to get started is to join. So I'm looking to get up to speed in this call and look for any opportunities to contribute.
Nice, Cypher. Before you unmute, are you a developer? What's your background?
Yeah, my background is actually in software as a service. I recently left the corporate world to transition to Web3. So my background is in business development and marketing. I run an 80-person team in the corporate world, and my focus is primarily on strategy, partnerships, alliances, and also just building community. I think it's probably my focus right now. And also working to scale together a guild that's working kind of cross DAO, kind of branching into and filling the gaps that are necessary for the different DAOs that are scaling up.
Very cool. Very cool. I will say this is a developer-heavy call, but it's great to have you here. And it will be. And if you see anything or are interested in hacking on something or have any questions, feel free to interrupt, because I think we have space in this call.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's I just like to understand the different parts of the machine, so I thought this would be a good call to jump on.
Sure. Yeah. Normally in this channel, you'll get something pretty crazy and fun. This is like the one call a week where we go through a GitHub board and just kind of like figure out what development issues we need to manage. So,
awesome.
So maybe we can start with you, Nugget. You said you had a small issue. Do you want to just start there before we go into the rest of the board?
Yeah, definitely. I just replicated it right now. It's with the bonding curve with the table. If you add in a step and write a comma instead of a dot, the thing breaks. And the thing is, um, the the backend does returns an error, but since the table doesn't load, there is no way to delete the step. So you have to kind of clear all the local data or fork some other proposal because there's no way of getting out of it. So yeah, I just wanted to see how do we go. But I can on the back end I can just discard any non-valid step and just ignore them. But maybe that could be something on the front end also to kind of delete stuff or reset stuff or something like that. I don't know what's the easiest or fastest way to go with that. I would like also to hear Pedro's input on that.
Yeah, and this is issue 222 actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
well, it's the same problem when you add a letter.
Ah, okay.
I already solved it. It's just waiting for review. We currently have a deploy preview that I already solved that. So just waiting for KA stuff, and then I can merge.
Okay, cool. Then forget what I said. That's what I get for not checking before.
So what's it? How did you end up fixing it?
So I just had to. I just took out the inputs that we had and make some logic to stop accepting anything that is not a number. So the comma is not considered part of a number. The proper HTML and JavaScript just accepts the dots to separate the decimals from the number. So it was a kind of easy fix.
Nice. So if someone submits something with commas, it'll just work.
No, so you can't put commas anymore. It's like letters. If you try to type an A on the input, we will not be able. You will not show. If you try to type a dot, it will show. And if you try to type two dots, it's not gonna show.
It's okay, cool.
Going to force you to type a valid number.
That's great. That's great. Cool.
Cool, thanks.
Okay, so then let's go through. Looks like there's nothing in the sprint backlog. That's pretty fun. So maybe let's just start at new issues and see what we can do. So this is, I think we can remove the low priority label. I hope I put that there. Yeah. So this is a big one. This is the ABC step simulator improvements. I'm glad Mitch is here because Mitch, you might have some opinions on this. This is issue 201. And basically there's several small issues included in this issue. The first is to remove the concept of step and replace it with transaction. So anywhere it says step, we make it say transaction. We're also going to basically remove everything from this simulator. We're going to remove the bullish, bearish. We're going to remove the buttons for launch and all of that. We're going to remove the reserve balance and actually add it into the table. And I guess that's a question. Pedro, do you need any backend work for that, or can we just call it doesn't actually require any backend work because the reserve is there? The API.
If I remember correctly, you want to put the reserve balance on the table, right?
Yeah.
So you need someone, probably not going to put this information on the response from the backend. So you will have to change some stuff there because you change, right? It's not the same for all the roles.
Nugget?
Yeah, I didn't get that last part, but I actually have a pull request already there, which adds the balance to the table. So that would be just it is waiting for review, but it's there already in this PR. So if you and the reserve ratio is being set already, so I guess that's no change needed to change the place where it shows.
Okay.
Yeah, if you need anything else, please let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. At the end, the simulator should look something like this, where all that's left is this simulated transaction button, and it's missing a learn more link, and I requested to change this text right here a little bit, but that's what the end product looks like, and then of course the reserve will be in the table.
So this is basically removing the scenarios thing completely.
Not removing the scenarios completely. 'Cause
Like
you
the
can
original
still-
3 steps that were supposed to be there. Like you wanted to say like a buy, a sell, a buy, a buy, a buy, or a sell. And this is like the kind of that narrative that you wanted to say, like, are we getting rid of those initial steps and just having the initial buy to begin with?
No, we'll still have those initial steps as well. Well, we're
How
really
are they
getting
being represented then?
they'll stay the same.
And there's no way to change them. There's
And there's no way
just
to
the one
change them.
buy scenario.
Yeah, they'll just be the one buy scenario, and then you can add a step, add a transaction to make a big sell. And so the general idea is that like you can explore the bonding curve from the launch scenario and just like make a big transaction basically to get to where you want to be on the curve, instead of trying to teleport with this or needing to switch this. It was just too many features, and it was feeling a little complicated. That was kind of what we settled on last week.
So you're still able to add steps. You're just calling them transactions. You're removing the reserve balance selector and the market scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it'll always be at launch. The idea would be that you always see the launch scenario. So step 0 would basically always be there. And then you always have this first 3 steps, but then you can, add and remove steps and explore the bonding curve in that way.
Well, sure. What I understood when you first messaged me was that you were getting rid of the add a step feature.
No, I was
That's
saying
why I was
that,
like, what the hell? Like, that's the best feature.
Yeah, no, we'll keep the add a step feature. It'll just be add a transaction. We're getting rid of the word step, and we're getting rid of current. We need to make space in the table, so we're gonna get rid of the word current, so the price would be smaller, and we can make that column smaller, and try to make all of these columns smaller, basically, if we can. So that we can
adding in which column?
So we can add in reserve. So we'll get rid of reserve here, and it'll just be, you'll see the reserve and the total supply and the price at every step. So we'll just try to make all of these smaller in whatever way we can.
Can you make the card take up less? Because look, you got a lot of like dead space on the card there. Like if you put that commons tribute to 2 decimals, you can move this over like probably like 10%.
Yeah, actually, it looks like there's some space on every card.
Like, that card could be like, maybe a quarter thinner.
Yeah. What do you think, Pedro? Is that possible? Can we make the card like smaller on the left?
Yes, we can, but I think that it still will not be enough to. If we do that and cut some words on the headers of the table, we can fit the reserve balance. But only making the card smaller will not be able. I will not be able to fit the stuff there. So I will have to do both. I will have to shrink the card and cut current from current price and probably total from total supply. Then I
But
can
even
fit the
like
reserve.
you can't remove the word supply, and like even slippage. Like, are you gonna remove slippage?
We can remove
No.
price.
We're gonna remove.
But it doesn't. It doesn't. It's not the vertical. It's the horizontal length of the column that's causing the issue. No.
Yes, but bigger
So, I mean-
screens.
Removing things that change the vertical height doesn't really solve the issue. It's the horizontal length of the columns that's causing the issue.
Yeah, I know, but imagine that right now we have a feature on CSS that's making it break the words and make it vertical. But if you look to bigger screens like mine, you see that you need to get some horizontal space too. So you can see here that I can fit reserve balance in here. I will have to short this and everything, but probably I will have to cut at least one word from one of the headers.
But then, like when you add that, won't it just squeeze horizontally? Like if you took your screen right now and zoomed in, how does it react on your larger screen? Does
Like
the
this.
same thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that's not really going to change anything. You know, all it does is it takes up a little bit more space vertically because the words are on top of each other, but you don't actually like gain extra space by removing words.
If we remove current, we'll gain some extra space for sure.
It's
This is
still going to be
long.
just as long as slippage.
Yeah, but that one column can be thinner, even when it's stacked on top of each other. It still can only be a certain size.
Okay, but it's a resolution issue, so even if you do that, like it might break on any other screen.
Yeah, we will have to combine both ideas to shrink the card on the left and check it. Then I will shrink the card first and see if I can fit reserve balance in all the resolutions that we need. And if it's not possible, I will see if I remove current from price. Or I don't know if you guys have any other word that's not so important. Because current price and price slippage is the best columns to remove something from the header, because the information below them is really short. Like total supply with remove total, for example, probably will not change anything because the information that we have below there on the rows is quite big. But price slippage and current prices is really small. So it's better to change something there.
What about removing some of these things have decimals on them, like amount in, amount out. The tribute has like double decimal places on it.
Yeah, so something that Griff requested is to maintain the decimals on the die and remove the decimals from tag, and I already did that. But if you're saying that's not important, I can remove from off then, but I don't think that.
Okay. Well, just speaking to the rest of it, like, yeah, I think removing market scenario is great, and the reserve balance indicator definitely.
Nice. And just starting so that it's always at launch.
Yeah, like we're finding with the parties anyway, like that's what people are doing. They're just always looking at launch.
Yeah. It's a little confusing to just hop over to somewhere else. I don't know. Feels weird. Okay, cool. And then, yeah, I mean, Pedro, do the best that you can. If it makes sense to remove decimals in some of these, like, what if we just said I guess how important do you think, Mitch? How important do you think the word amount? I guess it wouldn't score us that much because we have the
Yeah, the rows are quite big because the information that we put there, this column is big. So if you change the header, it will not impact
yeah.
the space that we have.
Because the actual information in the columns is just as large.
Yeah.
And there was a thing, because Marco's here now. He had like a UI suggestion to add like some colored arrows to these to like specify like what is a buy and what is a sell. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Is there an issue for that?
Pretty sure Marco had an issue, or maybe he just DM'd me. Marco, do you remember?
Yeah. Let me just try to find it, and I'm pasted in the parameters channel.
Because it was a little bit confusing to just like understand what's a buy and what's a sell. So just having like a green arrow for a buy. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah,
I think it's in the issue as well.
Which issue?
I had no idea.
Let's see. Arrow, maybe.
No, it's not arrow. It's something else. Is there a way you can filter by search by username? No, it doesn't search comments, right? No.
Yeah, I don't honestly know.
Yeah.
I'll keep going. I'll find it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just make a quick issue and we'll hit it. I would say that improving the step simulator would be really nice as something I think we would get a lot out of. I think it's the biggest piece of work that's left. So Pedro, do you have any things that might be blocking it, or questions about this issue?
I just have one question, and it's related to other issue that we have. The last time that we talked about that, you said that you want to put reserve ratio, and Lauren said that common pool at launch, reserve ratio at the card, because they complemented each other and they make sense with other information that we have there. And I didn't saw that on the issue.
I personally think that it's fine where it is. I don't have strong feelings about moving it and adding it to the card. I'm not against that move, but I don't know, it's like extra work that I don't see as such a huge problem. I kind of like having I have a slight preference for only parameters you can change being over on the left. But I'm open if other people have. It's a very slight preference. So if other people feel like, actually no, we should really move that off of the graph and into the card, I'm open to that concept. Marco, do you have a thought on that? Like moving common pool or reserve ratio over to the card and off of the graph?
Just as the information, or as a parameter that I can set?
Just as the information. You wouldn't be able to change it.
I prefer to. Well, I kind of got used to it looking at it on the graph. So.
I don't really see like why we should change it, especially this late in the game. Like changing the UI so much is already like, I don't know, getting kind of dicey. Like we're mid-flight and we're adding features that like could be breaking while we're trying to present them to all these communities. So like less is more for us right now, I think.
I agree with you guys. I just
I agree.
brought this up because I remember that Lauren had a nice idea about that. But
No,
okay.
yeah, I think less is more here. But in the end, it would be better if it was on the side. But maybe what's better now is just not changing anything that we can avoid changing.
Yeah, like once it's not like actively being used, every single day for, dozens of people, maybe we can go. Like even this, like making these changes to this thing, it's like, damn, like what if that breaks like when I have to present it, That's my thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree with that one.
Okay. Well, let's keep moving then. Is there any other questions on this one, Pedro?
No, everything's fine.
I found the image and I added it into the bottom of this.
Oh yeah. Well, would it be possible to instead of amount in, amount out, so making it one column?
Well, there was more comments in there, but that's just basically like never mind that amount in and out because
Yeah.
that doesn't actually make it less confusing.
What if we added the arrow to the step instead? Just so that it's like there's more space in the step column. It's just one number, and the arrow would probably still fit under the text of step instead of making this long. This column's already kind of.
Yeah. No, that seems great. Just like having that little graphical cue in there somewhere.
What do you think, Pedro?
Yes, it's doable. Nugan probably will have to make some changes on the backend. But here we already have to do that because we will change some stuff on the bullish, bearish, and everything. I think that's not a problem, and I like the idea. I think that these arrows bring some dynamic to the table.
Totally. Nuggin?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Just yeah, definitely. Let me know if you need anything specific, Pedro.
Maybe I'll just add this to this issue so it's a check mark.
I'm gonna post a quick mock-up of that in the parameters channel so you can attach it to the GitHub issue.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now. Uploading.
When is the next batch of parameters party?
Oh, they're nonstop at this point.
Okay.
I think the big thing here is that basically someone who's hosting param parties. Sadly, Lauren and I are sort of on vacation, so I think this will fall more on Nuggin and Mitch and Zeptimus and Wonka and Chewy. But like, what would be great is before we make any merge, just have a good develop branch and get Mitch or Nuggin to like do a quick QA on it to make sure it's not going to break anything and then merge.
Okay. I have one that is waiting for QA review. I will ask Mitch to do that. Okay. And then during the afternoon here in Brazil, I will start coding these two high priority issues that we have right now. And then after the changes that Nuggin do on the backend, I can give Mitch another preview so he can QA this stuff too.
Cool. Okay, well let's keep pushing because there's a lot of issues. That's just the first one. There is this one which is adding a one-day option to the CV module. I'm debating whether or not this is low priority or not. Really, how hard would it be to add a one-day option?
On the front end, it is easy. We just have to talk with Victor so he can add this on the back end.
Okay, so this is more of a back-end issue. Oh yeah, good, it's in the back end.
I think for the same reasons that we just mentioned, like this should be like Icebox.
I'm sort of discovering that like 1 week showing how many tokens are needed to pass in 1 week, a proposal in 1 week. It's like, well, what if we want to pass the proposal in a couple days? You know, like I feel like that's.
I hear your point, and it's like good, but like how the value we add versus like how it detracts from creating like a stable application of just adding features. So it's like we have to like add like minimal features, like ideally no features, because right now it's being like actively used, and just make it stable AF, you know?
Would adding, I mean, I don't think it would, you're more worried about just any change because it might break the app, or you're worried about adding features that will change the way people use it?
Adding features that'll break the app. That's it. It's just like I agree. It's like it'll probably not really change much to the user flow, but like it seems easy, then it breaks like when we need it, and so it's like right now it's like we've got the MVP. We need to make it stable, and like for the next couple of weeks when it's going to be used the most, like we probably shouldn't be adding technical features.
I agree with you, Mitch, but this one is not going to bring any problem. If the math part is not gonna break on the backend, if you guys that know better this than I knows that if you use one day on the math behind everything will be stable. I just have to put another button on the front end and it's done. And of course, Victor has to enable this option on the back. This one is very simple. The probability to break anything is very low, but other features I agree with you. I think that we should not do any kind of big new feature.
I do think not having one day kind of makes everyone want to use larger conviction growth, and it's actually impacting the design because, like, if you have 3 days conviction growth, it just looks like you can't really see the difference, you know, if you have a smaller, shorter conviction growth. But I do like this voice of reason, and let's not try to make too many changes. If this is a relatively easy one, though, I think it will have a huge impact on our design. So I'll just put that in the sprint backlog. Okay, Zoom is off on the ABC. In fact, yeah, this is the DAO Casino proposals, and it looks like Naganiore made a fix for this.
Yeah, it's waiting for review. The issue is that when you draw the curve to give it a bit of space, I just added some numbers to the supply. But the thing is, with this casino designs, where the curve is so steep, adding like 50,000 tokens just to make a bit of space makes the price rise a lot. So it gets out. So I reduced the numbers to something smaller in the hope that it doesn't happen.
Oh, nice. So what did you reduce it to?
Let me check. I think it was at 50,000. I changed it to like 10,000 or something like that, or even 5,000. So it will be a bit closer to the edge. The last step point will be closer to the edge. But apart from that, it wasn't even a bug. It was just a design thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, buying 50,000 tokens when the price gets really high ends up adding a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, could you even make it? It would be nice if it was just in reserve instead of tokens. Basically, I feel like that would solve the problem. Is that would that be a pretty big change though?
Yeah, because the curve works with supply and then gets converted to this balance chart.
Okay.
So it would be a bit more of work, and I'm not sure how much.
No,
yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. It's cool. Okay, that's great. Then let's see. Analytics GitHub issue. Hatcher release schedule y-axis label is wrong. It should say percent of hatchers tokens that are liquid or something like that, not price wrapped XDAI.
Yeah, I'm almost sure that I already solved this one. Just double checking here.
Yeah, it looks like there's something there.
Yeah, on the deploy preview that is waiting for key A is already solved.
Nice. Great.
I will add some kind of label to these issues that is waiting for key, so we can
cool.
track better.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that would be great. Okay, let's see. Lost tooltips on conviction growth graph. Tooltip. Oh yeah.
I added a comment there. Basically, this table is one that you asked me to transpose because the header was scenario 1, scenario 2, and scenario 6, and we didn't have any kind of tooltip test, so we didn't lost because we never had. So if anyone could create a test, I can implement that.
Yeah, that's no problem.
And the other one about the conviction growth, I had a problem with the chart, but I already solved that. And just let me double check, but I think that on the preview is already there.
Nice. So that's, let's see. Oh yeah, conviction growth. That was part of that issue. Oops, sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah, because we lost the conviction growth graph for a second there, but it's back. I'm glad to hear that it will be back when we get this new one merged. Okay, show the extra transactions in ABC and extra funding requests in CV GitHub issue. I think this is a VTOR issue, and I'll throw it in sprint backlog because it would be really nice to get it through. But basically, anytime when the people are adding their steps, I think it will actually make the issue a little richer if they can see the steps in the GitHub issue itself. And that shouldn't affect the DApp, so it's fair game. This is a small one. Looks like it's also fixed, Pedro.
Yes, it's on the preview that is waiting for key.
Nice. Update tooltip for commons tribute. Oh yeah, this is just a change in the tooltip. Looks like you're taking it on, Pedro.
Yes.
This whole meeting is just revolving around you. Thank you so much, Pedro.
No problem.
Reserve ratio link is not working, and there's no tooltip popping up. This has a link, right? Normally, this is a link to a forum post.
Yeah, this one is my bad. I messed up something, but I didn't solve it yet because I had that doubt about moving this to the cart. But now that I know that will be placed there, I will solve as soon as possible.
Okay, perfect.
Probably will be on the deploy preview that is waiting for key.
Sweet. Is advanced setting modified actually working? Has anyone seen advanced setting modified say no on any proposals?
No, me neither, and I'm pretty sure mine didn't have any advanced setting changed.
Yeah. So I think this is just like a weird bug or something. And maybe, I mean, I feel like it would be really valuable to have it a little alert if there is an advanced setting modified, but it not as a false alert. So
I think that this one is on Vitor, right? I assigned him, but I'm not sure because it's the issue. Right?
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's see. Zoom. We're zooming the ABC. There was some work put on this, right?
Yes, this one will be on another deploy preview together with all the changes that we are currently doing in DC. And this will be together with another issue that we have regarding the breaking that we have if you add too much steps on the ABC. So it's gonna be a batch of issues solved on the same debugger.
Okay, cool. This was something about error handling on this issue, right? The batching.
Yes, it's going to be all the same. So that factor that I want to do on the ABC with the loading component, I talked with you, and the problem with the steps and everything else, I want to make a deploy preview solving everything, and then we can make a nice QA job there, and then we can solve this forever.
Okay, cool. And that's going to be a second thing to check after we merge this other one.
Yeah, so I have one waiting for QA that is for other issues that I solved, and I will create another one to solve these issues that I regarding the ABC.
Okay, perfect. This is also for Vitor, I think, in conviction voting. It's this like we're still getting this like this is conviction voting settings where it's like it's saying that there's only 1 million tokens voting, but there's 3 million tokens there. So like that it would take to pass. So it should really just say not possible. Yeah, so that's an old issue, and then we have the design stuff. Is anything specific that we should talk about in the design, Marco Mosaidi?
No, not at this point.
Okay, cool.
Just so Marco and Mosaic can know, I'm taking a look on the Figma, but I have a lot of issues to solve, so it's kind of slow. But I promise you guys that I reach out at the end of the week, at least, to give you guys some heads up and see if it's fine. Okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. No worries, no rush.
Apparently it's party time. Who
Wow,
started
that's fun.
Yeah. Actually, though, whoever did that is right on time because I think that's our call. Is there any other issues that people want to review?
Yeah, I have an issue, Griff.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell everybody that it's Griff's birthday today. Wanka! Yeah, so we're gonna
Happy birthday,
we're gonna
Griff.
sing happy birthday for Griff right now.
Happy birthday.
Okay? You guys ready for this? I got one
Cameras
here
on.
with me.
Everything on mute. Everyone
Cameras
on mute.
on.
Yeah.
Blast it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Griff. Happy birthday to you.
¡Cumpleaños
Happy
feliz!
birthday, buddy.
Thanks.
Look at he's so shy. Look at him. Wow, somebody screen captured this.
It's recorded.
Awesome.
Oh, great. Yeah,
Beautiful.
we'll have to submit it to the Grammys for sure.
Griff, my boy want to sing for you. My boy want to sing for you. My son want to sing for you.
Okay.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Well, that's heartwarming.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all. I mean, no place I'd rather be than celebrating the birthday with a pram party for sure. So yeah. Well, speaking of which, the next call, there are no other real issues, right? Okay. The next call is supposed to be a pram debate, but we could just start it early. I don't know. I want to make sure anyone who wants to leave can leave, but we have quite the crew, and it would be nice to have. We might even be able to squeeze 6 parameter sets